There was once a man called Donald who had a most unfortunate affliction. You see, one day a hamster crawled onto Donald's head and started eating his brain. Of course, at first, Donald thought he'd take the hamster off, but by the time his hands reached his head, the hamster had already eaten all of the parts of the brain that were important. So Donald forgot the hamster was there and carried on as normal. But that wasn't the most strange thing about Donald at all. You see, from then on, all of Donald's words sounded exactly like trumps, which a lot of people thought were very funny indeed. And this is why, you see, if you were to x-ray a normal person's head, it might look something like this. You would see inside it a skull, and inside the skull you would see a brain, which is very important for reasoning and thinking. But Donald didn't have this at all. If you were to x-ray Donald's head, you would see something very different indeed. The first thing you would notice is that on top of his head he has a hamster. You would see a skull, but inside the skull there would be no brain at all. Instead, you would see an empty cavity, slowly filling up with hamster poo and hamster trumps. The trumps then leave the brain, go down the trump pipe, and come out of Donald's mouth. Lots of people thought this was hilarious and loved listening to Donald trump all day from his mouth. He would have rallies of people following him and cheering him and wishing that he would trump on forever. But you see, the problem with trumps is that they're full of methane. And if the air is full of methane, it takes only one tiny spark for the whole thing to explode.